Yo, so guys, and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel and a brand new episode of our MotoGP25 Career Mode. Today we're here with episode 12 at the Brno Grand Prix, which makes its way back on the calendar. It's been a while since it's been on there, you know, all the bumps and all the craziness and the new asphalt. So let's see how this one goes. Obviously we had a tricky weekend out in Germany, but we did manage to beat our rival. So let's see if we can, well, basically just do that again, I suppose.
Welcome to all the motorsport fans who have joined us here in Brno to watch this Czech Grand Prix. In a few moments, we'll move to the main straight to watch the start of the Moto3 race.
Right, here we are then at trackside. As you can see, variable weather. We're getting a lot of weekends now in a row with the weather being against us, and it's a bit of a tricky one to tell how this one's going to go. I mean, obviously it's dry as of now, and with the sun coming through the clouds and stuff. So does it mean the clouds are going to depart, or does it mean the rain is imminent? Interesting. So we're going to have to see how this one goes. Angel Piqueras then back to his usual form on pole position on board the KTM. Joel Kelso in second. Very consistent rider, Kelso. It's kind of a weird one because he's a rider that you kind of constantly feel like he's up there all the time, and then you realize in the championship he isn't anywhere, and you think, oh, okay. But yeah, Ricardo Rossi, P25, Kelso, he's you know, he's made more mistakes basically. In the end of the day, all the AI have simply made more mistakes than me and Piqueras. We go from P14 again, like Germany, not the greatest of qualifying, and we're actually behind our teammate Cormac, who's having a good weekend here in Brno. So let's see if we can have a good race here from P14 then. 5 red lights are on and 5 red lights are out, and away we go then for the Brno Grand Prix. Piqueras gets a, where the hell is that CF motorbike going? Piqueras though gets a good start, good launch, unthreatened into turn 1, but Maximo Quiles, I mean, I don't know, he was doing motocross, I don't know what he was doing on the grass. We've had a good start here. We've slotted ourselves in front of our teammate and behind Yamanaka, so we've managed to claw a couple positions anyway into the run into turn 1 and throughout turn 1 and 2, as we slightly now do a bit of motocrossing as we dip off of the curb there. We're trying to line up the move on Yamanaka, but look at this, instead we go right round the outside of the Japanese rider. What a move on Piqueras' teammate there to get ourselves up into P9. So we've had a good start then, just like Germany, slotting ourselves into the top 10 nice and early. But yeah, that was an unexpected move on Yamanaka. I was thinking I was going to go for at the time the switch back to the inside, and then it just ended up happening around the outside, and I thought, oh madre mia. But yeah, good move then on the Piqueras teammate on the MSI bike there into P9 then, and now we can focus on Luneta on the Honda. We got David Munoz trying to line up, I believe, the other Honda of Nepa, or is it Furusato? Hard to tell from here, but dropping down the hill then into turn 10, the Kevin Swantz corner. This track in general, like, I feel really good around the track, and like I'm not really having any problems. But yeah, the AI were pretty quick around here. The quali was pretty difficult. I think maybe I needed a slipstream. I think that's why Cormac beat me, because I was slipstreaming him around the whole track. And I feel like we needed to just swap the roles a little bit. I needed a couple more bikes forward, and then I would have been a couple more bikes forward throughout lap 1, and we might have been able to fight this guy who's slightly pulling away a little bit from Kelso. Nothing dramatic. Kelso will close that back up down this straight. Even Quiles getting really close, trying to look to the inside there as Piqueras runs out pretty wide. Is he going to lose the lead? Not quite, but almost. With that wide line there. But yeah, if we had just started just a little bit further, we could have been involved in this little melee. And right now we're just trying to focus on just getting into that slipstream, because we know how crucial it is on this game. If you're not in the slipstream, you've got no chance unless you're taking big risks in the corners, obviously, to close that gap. But we obviously have a championship to think about. We've got 31 points 32 points, sorry, advantage coming into this Grand Prix, and currently our championship rival is wanting to almost basically half that gap pretty much. I mean, 14 points, you know, that is a lot more of a stressful territory. So, you know, we don't really want to be taking big risks, especially around some of these kind of corners on Brno. It is a difficult track. It's not I'm not going to say it's a difficult track. It is kind of a vibey one. You can get into a flow of momentum, but it is easy to just slightly lose focus a little bit, and just a little tiny mistake is kind of dreadful around this track. But that leading pack, as you can see, they're all really bunching up and kind of slowing each other up a little bit throughout these corners. So we are closing a little bit, but I'm talking micro millimeters. But if we look at Lunetta, he is dropping behind this train. He doesn't look like he has the pace here to go with them in this stage of the race anyway, as it is getting a little bit darker, it seems, throughout this this lap. If you remember the intro, we had the sun coming through the clouds. I'm not quite seeing that anymore in this Grand Prix, but yeah, Lunetta seems to be struggling a little bit as we get really tight there on turn 1. We've got all sorts going on ahead of us, but yeah, picking up our first limits of the race. But our tyres are starting to go blue and stuff now, so I'm starting to think that possibly rain might be on its way. I mean, we're on lap 3, coming to almost halfway, you know, throughout this lap, so maybe we might reach the checkered flag. I mean, it depends how quick it is going to come down, if it is going to come down. But given the fact that it is a lot darker, I mean, we've got a little bit of light here. But, you know, given the fact, we've got everyone's bunched up throughout these double rights. But, yeah, it is darker. The tyres are cold. So, you know, one would think something bad is on the way and maybe on the horizon, as we still got Yamanaka pressuring us from behind, maybe wanting to try and make an impact in the championship somehow. Obviously, he's not in the fight for the trophy itself, as we get really close to Lunetta there on the flip-flops, and we might actually be close enough to threaten him down here. We are going to get that slipstream now from him, but obviously he's getting it from the bike ahead as we do go for the move into turn 10. Then that was a nice clean move there on the Honda bike, as the rain has started to come down. Then on lap 3, we're almost at the end of lap 3 then we've got a crash already, and it's Lunetta right behind us, the first to go down. Then is the rain caused that then? Did he go on the white line and it might have just been too slippy already? I mean, our tires are blue. I don't particularly feel too amazing on the bike. We can see it's kind of twitching about and stuff, but yeah, Lunetta then first bike down in the Grand Prix with that rain. Unfortunate, we just got the move done on him. Maybe that just kind of unsettled him a little bit, as Yamanaka then trying to come by. Like I say, he's probably wanting to make an impact in the championship, try and get a couple points on us and help out his teammate. We're going to obviously try and not be having none of that, but yeah, I don't think we're going to be making any impacts on these riders ahead in these conditions. Like I say, we don't want to come off the bike. This is a lot harder now than what it was a moment ago, as the riders are all over the place here, running on wide with the tricky conditions. Can we line up a move? We've gone for it on David Munoz, a little bit aggressive as we force him out wide, and look at this, struggling to get onto the traction now as we go down the hill, and the red flag has been called right as we've gone for a pretty aggressive move on David Munoz there, and it's not even going to count for anything. So we've kind of just shafted him in that last lap, well, what's ended up being the last lap, for no reason. Poor David Munoz. But Angel Piqueras then manages to keep the win by 34 thousandths of a second. Incredible scenes then from the Spaniard. The championship now 15 points. This is a little bit more stressful. I mean, in the German Grand Prix I was saying this gap is manageable, this is fine, we can't afford too many bad weekends. and we've come to Brno, and it's not necessarily that we was having a bad. I mean, even if it stayed dry, realistically, I think we would have probably stayed roughly where we were. It didn't seem like we were making any inroads to the bikes ahead. But that red flag really did shaft us there, because if it just lasted a bit longer, another lap, another sector, whatever you need to get those positions, we would have been a little bit of a different position. But yeah, the breakthrough with Angel Piqueras, so it says guaranteed contract if we are to beat him in this little duel that we are having, so that would be a good team to go to. But we do have something good happening here with this team. You know, we're overcoming problems that the bike had in the beginning part of the season, and we're seeing Cormac getting a little bit stronger now too. He even finished in the top 10 there, obviously helped with you know, Lunetta's crash. But Cormac's getting better, the bike's getting better, the vibes are good in the team. I'm team leader, everything's good, everything's kind of going well. So, you know, even if we've got that contract, do we really want to leave this team? And it's like our little family, you know. But let's see what Cormac is saying. The season has been on the right track. Jamie Randall's contributions are clear and on tracks, our objectives, and blah blah blah. So yeah, Cormac is obviously happy with the vibes. I'm happy with the vibes, and everything is going pretty good. Some riders, as we can see, still talking about Blue Crew Yamaha also, so they're possibly maybe going to offer us a contract. So we might have a few different offers to kind of negotiate by the time the season comes to a close. But that is it for today then. Tricky Grand Prix, red flag, maybe shafting us a little bit. Was it called slightly too early? Maybe, who knows. I obviously wanted it to last just a little bit longer. But yeah guys, I will see you for the Austrian Grand Prix, our manufacturer's home Grand Prix. So hopefully we can go well there, get ourselves back on the podium and have a good one. So yeah, until then, see you.